Actually, I can make a little butt. Does it look like a butt? Hi internet friends, welcome to my new cooking show, Kicki Yums, named after me, the host, Kicki. Is it narcissistic to name a show after yourself? Maybe, but I'm the one cooking, so I do what the I want. Everything that I'm making in this cooking show will be 100% vegan. But you know, if you're here looking for like healthy vegan bowls and shit, honey, you're on the wrong channel, because this show is all about enjoying life. And part of enjoying life is sometimes add a bit of salt, you know, have a bit of sodium, have a bit of oil, and maybe some MSG. I don't know if I'm gonna use it, but maybe some of my ingredients will have it, and I don't care because I'm here to enjoy life with you. I'll be cooking mostly Asian food, but maybe sometimes I'm gonna throw in a lasagna, I'm gonna throw in like a cake recipe or something. You know, this is the first episode of the show, so we're gonna see where it goes. Today, I'm not in my own kitchen. This is an Airbnb because we're currently renovating my boyfriend's apartment, and we thought we're gonna do like a small staycation here in Berlin, and I'm gonna use the Airbnb kitchen because why not? It's kind of cute, don't you think? Today's show will be split into separate parts. We're gonna turn these ingredients that I have here into a wonderful meal for two. In the first episode today, I'm going to show you how to make scallion pancakes, Chinese scallion pancakes. It's also called tong you bing, which means scallion oil pancake. And we're gonna follow my mom's recipe because everything my mom cooks is amazing, and I'm gonna make it exactly how she taught me to. The ingredients list for scallion pancakes is fairly short, and it's mostly things you might already have at home. So you need 500 grams of flour, then you need 150 milliliters of hot water and 150 milliliters of warm water. Then you will need salt, you will need vegetable oil, and as many scallions as you want. I like a lot of scallions, so I got a bunch of them that I'm going to work into the pancakes. My boyfriend who's behind the camera just ruined the last shot because I'm apparently too funny, but I know I'm hilarious. Anyways, we're gonna start making the dough now. I have my scale here. For my American followers, start to use the metric system. I think it's actually a lot more accurate than using cups. I have my big bowl. I'm gonna place it on my scale. So I'm using white flour here. And I learned just last year that it's pronounced flour. Before that, I said floor, which is the floor, which is not the right English pronunciation. Okay, that was enough anecdote of my past. Anyways, we're gonna start with 250 grams of flour. And then I have prepared 150 milliliters of boiling water. It has to be really hot. And some chopsticks because I'm Chinese. And we Chinese people use chopsticks for everything. I'll start stir the flour and then pour the hot water in it. And you have to be really fast. Also, one of the reasons why I'm using chopsticks is because it's boiling hot and I don't want to boil my hands. Now this has slowly formed into some bigger clumps. It looks like this. Now I'm going with my hands and start to make it more, you know, to like one big bowl. Okay, when we have this part set up, I put it back on my scale, and we're gonna add another 250 grams of flour. Now, I have prepared a small glass of 150 milliliters of room temperature water, a tiny bit more than room temperature, like it's warm out of the tap. And I'm gonna add this, Jesus Christ, I can't speak today, into my mixture. And with my chopsticks, I'm gonna start stirring it again with the big ass bowl that is already in there. For taste, add a tiny little bit of salt. And this is like a real workout. I have zero arm strength. My arms are like, you know, like swabbly spaghettis. But maybe at some point, if I do this often enough, I'll actually have some muscles. The reason why we use a mixture of hot water and room temperature water is because like that you achieve the perfect texture. If you use really cold water to make scallion pancakes, they're gonna turn out brick hard, and you don't want that. You want like a bit of like a soft texture. Now we have a very smooth and round, jiggly, elastic bowl of dough, and now we need to let it rest for a whole hour. So this is why, for example, when my mom does it, she does it in the morning or like during lunchtime, and we eat it for dinner. Because the longer you let the dough rest, the more elastic it will get, and it's perfect for scallion pancakes. So to let the dough not dry out, some people put a wet cloth over it, but what I do and also what my mom does, I just take a bit of vegetable oil in my hand, and then take my dough ball and just rub it, you know, like a butt in the sun and the ocean. Wait, actually I can make a little butt. Does it look like a butt? So my little butt is in the bowl. I'm gonna set this aside for 1 whole hour, and in this hour I'm gonna make the other dishes that goes with the scallion pancakes, and you will see that in episode 2. While the dough is resting, you have to prep your scallions and prepare the oil mixture that you need to do the scallion pancakes, because you want your scallion pancakes to be flaky. That's the special part about scallion pancakes. I already washed my scallions. I'm gonna remove a big chunk of white, put this to the side, and then I'm gonna cut them rather small, I would say, because I think then it's easier to cook them through. Your scallions are ready. Now for the oil mixture, we're gonna take some flour. About like 2 tablespoons is enough. Then we need a tiny bit of salt. Goes in my hand first. Oh, that was a bit much. And then we're gonna add oil to it. Now you have everything prepared. You have your dough, you have your oil mixture, and you have your scallions. Now there are different rolling techniques. So instead of putting flour onto the table, I'm gonna put oil onto the table. It's a bit harder to remove later, but I think for me personally, it's much easier to work with the dough. So now we're gonna take our dough. It's very elastic, as you can see. It's very smooth. And we're gonna roll it into kind of like a sausage. That's a very ugly sausage. We're gonna take the back of the knife and cut it into 6 equal parts. And then I'm gonna roll it to like a sausage-like thing again. And since I don't own anything to roll dough, I'm just gonna use this bottle. Till we have this really long, what would you call this? Like a long, flat type of, I don't know, just a strip of dough. Once we roll it out to this, we're gonna take our oil mixture and put it onto the strip. Add our scallions. Be very generous with it. And then we're gonna take one end, start to roll it into a wrap, I guess. It's okay if there are little holes like that, it really doesn't matter. And now we're gonna take this, put it up like that, and squish it down. Put this to the side and continue with the rest. So I let these tiny pancakes rest for another couple of minutes, and now we're actually gonna make them really flat. For me personally, I like the pancakes a bit thinner because then they get more crispy. And if you do this, as you can see, like sometimes there are little holes in there and shit. Just don't worry about that. It will still be very tasty. Now I'm going to take this pancake and put it into a pan that I have heated up with some oil in it. I'm gonna fry it on both sides until it's gold brown, crispy, and delicious. And there we have it. These are the scallion pancakes. They're crispy, they're flaky, they're delicious. So let me teach you a word in Chinese. You have several ways to say if something tastes good. The most common one is 好吃. Hao means good and 吃 means eat, so good eat, I guess. And the other one, especially for stuff like scallion pancakes or deep fried stuff, you say something is very 香. And 香 is also when something smells good, but it also describes when something tastes really good. You know, in all these cooking videos on YouTube, you guys have to eat your dish in the end to prove to people that it actually tastes good.
So now it's a mukbang video?
Huh?
Now it's a mukbang video.
No, it's a mukbang video. I don't give a shit until I'm hungry.